I'm Charon Reed, and I would like to offer advice to the younger generation about inspiration. A message I have to the younger generation about inspiration. Growing up as a child, I always had this internal, kind of this divine, instinctual belief that something good can happen out of something that seems so terrible or something that seemed misguided or even a mistake. I didn't understand exactly where it came from, but I always feel like there was something better beyond where I was at or the state that I was in or even my family or my friends. And it was always this longing and desire that it's going to get better. It's always better. For movies like The Wizard of Oz, the old original Wizard of Oz, that, follow the yellow brick road and somewhere over the rainbow. That was always one of those things that inspired me and something I just truly believed in. And even as I entered my young adulthood, I always had that, like, there's something better and greater. And I would read magazines and books and just take little glimpses of things and just found myself just in this world of inspiration of like, it's something that beyond this moment in time. And, but then, as life happens, although that had that internal fire inside of me that there's something more, there's something better, there's something greater, there's something beyond this. It began to get a little convoluted in my young adult years. You go through college, you have life troubles and struggles, and then for a moment I just feel like that I was just stuck. I was in this quandary of life at a point in my young adult years. Okay, what is this all about? Of course, in 86, I became a Christian and followed Jesus Christ, and that sparked something in me even more so. That inspiration that once was there and then kind of dulled down, it became more vibrant and even more real in my life. That, there is something bigger and greater, and there is something that beyond my wild imagination that I could believe if I had enough gumption and if I had enough faith and if I just had enough in understanding how God created me, there was nothing that I couldn't do, and there was nothing that anyone else could not do if they allowed themselves to just live, believe, and put in all their best efforts. So, as a result, some of the key scriptures that I hang on personally for myself, you hear these scriptures quite often. One is the tongue has the power of life and death. And I believe personally that speaking life into myself and over my life and over others, that is the key to encouraging and inspiring this generation and inspire myself. Looking at things from that perspective of life-giving and not life-taking away or condemning, but life-giving. Another scripture that I found as a jewel as a young Christian in Romans, it talks about God calls things that are not as they are. Sometimes you can look at things in a certain way and it seems impossible. Someone may look at you and say, oh, you know what, her grades are not good enough to go to college. Or, she can never accomplish that, because that's what they see. But God looks at me and he looks at you in a whole completely different way. He looks at you and say, you're awesome. You're creative. What I created in you, no one can snatch it away. And that you are not limited by what somebody else says you can and cannot do. You're only limited by your own self. You choosing not to believe in the gifts that God has given you. I had to learn early on, it was not the color of my skin. That was not going to limit me. Although I'm growing up in a very segregated community, with very few people of my skin complexion, but I learned early that's not limiting me. Or you may say, I don't have the nice long wavy hair, because that was the thing. No, that's not what limits me. And that won't hold me back. And none of those physical characteristics or what people deem as value are necessarily the things that God values. And once I clicked into that, even in a greater way, the sky was the limit. And I also took on that type of mindset as I looked at other people. As I come across people along my path, I didn't look at what other people may see. I looked at, this person is incredible. There's something that is uniquely designed about them that if they just hone in on that, the sky would open for them. And it's been so encouraging along the way as I've met so many people in my life to be able to encourage them to go for their dreams. You know, sometimes they didn't think that, oh, there's no way I can do that. It's like, why not? People, whether it's women who had dropped out of college and who became, pregnant, and they thought, there's no way I can go back. Oh, yes, you can. God always provided resources. All he needs is a willing spirit. And I've been placed in a very fortunate position to be able to encourage so many different people to go after their dreams. Even for my own self, to go after personal dreams and personal pursuits of myself. Understanding that money is not a factor. It's not a factor. God will provide. Mm-hmm. You know what? It doesn't make, it has nothing to do with your popularity. No, it does not. What God has gifted each person with, no one, when I say no one can minimize it. They may try. No one can take it away. Oh, they may try. But it's something that is innately inside of each person. And every place I go, I try to do this. Speak life into people. Everywhere I go, whether it's the girl at the grocery store, the young lady at the grocery store, blessing her in some way, to letting her know that, boy, there is something beyond her present state. It can be something, I may ask her a question, well, what do you do? What would you like to do? And if she tells me, one day I would like to major in political science, I say, well, why not? Do you know about Montgomery College? They have a great political science. Have you heard about American University? Always providing resources and drops of information and drops of inspiration to encourage young people to go beyond where they're at right now. I always say this. It doesn't matter where you start. It matters where you end. It doesn't matter. You may not begin where someone else is at, but your journey may look completely different from someone else, and you will end up in the same place or beyond your wildest dreams. And so I say this to the younger generation. Believe in yourself, but believe in something greater than yourself. Believe in the God who created you. Believe in that something that says that I'm incredible, I'm worthy, and I have everything I need to be successful in my life. It may not look the way someone else defines success, but trust me, it's a way that you define success and how God views you. And he will give you more than what you can ask or imagine if you first believe and use the tools that God has given you. When there's opportunities, grab onto it. Don't allow yourself to think, oh, well, maybe this is not for me. If God opens the door, it's for you. If there's people that you can meet or you connect with that align with the things that you desire, take advantage of those opportunities. Don't shy away from it. Sometimes you might have to gather yourself and get your courage up, but you know what? You go for it. If that's your desire, let me tell you, the floodgates were open. Don't allow fear. Don't allow naysayers. Don't allow even that internal doubt cause you not to go after your dream. You have what it takes. You just have to believe.
Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like, to comment, and subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so you can be notified when the next video is posted. Thank you so much. Bye.